Once upon a time, in a great city surrounded by deserts and filled with markets and palaces, there lived a poor boy named Aladdin. Aladdin had no money to buy a loaf of bread, but he was smart, brave, and pure of heart. He lived with his mother in a small house on the outskirts of the city. His mother sewed clothes for people to earn their daily bread, and Aladdin helped her as best he could. Despite their poverty, he never lost hope of living a dignified life one day. One day, a strange man came to the city. He was tall, wearing a black cloak, and had sharp looks. He approached Aladdin and said, "Oh boy, would you like to become rich?" Aladdin looked at him in astonishment and said, "Who wouldn't want wealth? But I have nothing, and I do not know the way to money." The man smiled cunningly and said, "I am a magician from a distant land, and I know you have a great destiny. Just help me with a simple matter, and I will give you the treasures of the world." Aladdin walked with him outside the city to a remote desert, where the magician stood on a large rock and struck it with his magic staff. And the earth split open, revealing steps leading to a dark cave. The magician said, "Down below is an old lamp. I only want it. As for the gold and jewels, they are yours." Aladdin was wary, but he went down into the cave, and there he saw wonders: mountains of gold, sparkling jewels, and swords of silver. But he did not forget, and went to the old lamp lying in a corner of the cave. When he wanted to climb back up, the magician said in a gruff voice, "Give me the lamp first." But Aladdin hesitated, and the magician grew angry and closed the cave door on him, leaving him alone in the darkness. Aladdin sat crying, then looked at the lamp in his hand and rubbed it with the edge of his shirt. Suddenly, thick smoke emerged from it, and a giant genie filled the place and said in a booming voice, "I am the genie of the lamp. I obey the one who owns it." Aladdin was astonished, but he said, "Get me out of here." In an instant, he found himself outside the cave with the lamp in his hand. He returned to his mother and told her what happened. From that day, their lives changed. Aladdin commanded the genie to build a magnificent palace of gold and marble in the middle of the city. One day, he went to the market and saw a beautiful princess named Jasmine, the Sultan's daughter. She was kind-hearted, eager to know the people's conditions. Aladdin loved her at first sight and returned to his palace, commanding the genie, "I want to marry Princess Jasmine." The genie replied, "Your wish is my command, my master." The next day, great gifts of gold and jewelry were sent to the Sultan's palace, along with Aladdin's proposal to court the princess. The Sultan was impressed by Aladdin's generosity and agreed, and the wedding took place in a grand celebration. But the evil magician did not forget the lamp. He returned disguised, sneaking into the city, and discovered that Aladdin had become a prince. One night, when Aladdin was away, the magician disguised himself as a lamp seller and stood near the princess's palace, shouting, "Who wants to trade an old lamp for a new one?" The maid heard him and gave him the magic lamp without knowing its value. The magician disappeared in moments, taking the lamp and the entire palace with him. Aladdin woke up to a disaster. The palace was gone, and the princess was with it. He traveled to distant lands, climbed mountains, and crossed deserts until he found the magician living in his palace with the lamp. He sneaked in at night, retrieved the lamp after a fierce battle, and commanded the genie, "Take me back to my city and restore the palace as it was." In an instant, everything returned to as it was, even more beautiful. The Sultan learned the truth and announced that Aladdin was not only the princess's husband, but also the heir to the throne. Aladdin and Jasmine lived happily ever after, and he advised the genie never to grant any wish that would harm people. The lamp remained safe in a secure place, used only for good.